Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय।
जय
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा रामानु जी।
हरे कृष्णा जी।
कृष्णा कैसे हो?
हम अच्छे हैं, आप कैसे हो?
बस बस देखो चल रहा है, स्टार्टिंग ऑफ मंडे। ठीक है तो शुरू करते हैं। सो हम लोगों ने 47th अध्याय शुरू किया लास्ट वीक एंड वी आर ऑन 10th कैंटो। और जैसा कि हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं 10th कैंटो इज ऑल अबाउट लॉर्ड श्री कृष्णा। या हम भगवान कृष्ण की सब लीलाओं के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं। वृंदावन में, फिर गिरिराज पर्वत जो भगवान कृष्ण ने उठाया, फिर सारी लीलाएं जो वृंदावन में करी, राइट। और फिर मथुरा में गए, कंस का जो वध किया, वो सारी लीलाएं हम लोगों ने पढ़ी है और पढ़ रहे हैं। और इस वक्त जैसा कि पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग, भगवान कृष्ण मथुरा चले गए हैं और वहां उद्धव जी वृंदावन में आए हैं। एंड उद्धव जी को पहले तो गोपियां काफी कह रही थी कि भगवान कृष्ण क्यों नहीं आए। एंड देन भ्रमर गीत जो हमने सुना, तो भ्रमर गीत जो हमने सुना उस हिसाब से, बट बाद में गोपियों को सबको सांत्वना दिला के उद्धव जी एंड गॉट द कॉन्फिडेंस। और उसके बाद में सुखदेव गोस्वामी जी कह रहे हैं परीक्षित महाराज को, यह श्लोक हमने पढ़ा था, बट लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर। अनिल जी।
सरिद्ध नगरी द्रोणीर्वीक्षण कुसुमितान द्रुमान् कृष्णं संस्मारयन् रेमे हरिदास ब्रजौकसाम्. That servant of Lord Hari, seeing the rivers, forests, mountains, valleys, and flowering trees of Braj, enjoyed inspiring the inhabitants of Vrindavan by reminding them of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। से ये दैट सर्वेंट ऑफ लॉर्ड हरि, किसकी बात हो रही है यहाँ पे?
उद्धव जी की।
उद्धव जी की, राइट। उद्धव जी ही वाज इन वृंदावन फॉर फ्यू मंथ्स एंड देन सबसे वो भगवान कृष्ण का रिमाइंड कर रहे थे। या से कृष्णम संस्मार्यनम, या कृष्ण भगवान की यादें, उनकी लीलाओं की यादें करके। और हरिदास इज उद्धव जी सबको प्रशंसा कर रहे थे, इज व्हाट इज मेंशन। Yeah, says here Srila Sridhar Swami points out that as Uddhav wandered around about Vrindavan, he reminded Vrats residents of Krishna by asking them questions about the pastimes the Lord had performed in each of these places, namely the rivers, forests, mountains, and valleys. Thus, Uddhav himself enjoyed great transcendental bliss in their association. Ramanuji?
दृष्ट्वैवम् अधिगोप्नं कृष्ण वस्तात्मां विक्लवम् उद्धवः परमपितास्त namasvyam idam jagau. Thus, seeing how the gopis were always disturbed because of their total absorption in Krishna, Uddhava was extremely pleased, desiring to offer them all respect. He sang as follows.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So basically, as you can see, what Udhavji found was that gopis are always totally absorbed in Krishna, remembering. Yeah, always remembering Krishna. Krishna Vesh Atma Vikalpam. Yeah, they were always thinking about Krishna. And by seeing that, and of course, Udhavji is Param Jnani, yeah, and he has the realization of the super soul, right? And he is seeing that there is nothing like this, right? Like the way the gopis are totally absorbed in Lord Shri Krishna. And so then he says, Udhavas Parama Pritasta Namashya Nidam Jago. Namashya. He wanted to offer the respect, yeah, glorify gopis, and so he sings as follows, is what is mentioned. So read this, Anilji.
Bhiklav, mental disturbance should not be confused here with ordinary material distress. It is clearly stated that Uddhav was supremely pleased, and he felt this way because he saw that gopis had attained the highest state of loving ecstasy. Uddhav was an exalted member of the court in Dwarka, an important minister in world political affairs, and yet he felt the spiritual urge to offer his obeisances to the glorious gopis, although externally they were mere cowherd girls in an insignificant village called Vrindavan. Thus, to explain his feelings, he sang the following verses. Srila Jiva Goswami states that Uddhav sang these verses daily while he was in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so two things mentioned here is Udhavji felt that he saw that gopis had attained the highest state of loving ecstasy. Yeah, loving the supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And then, of course, he says that he felt the spiritual urge to offer his obeisances to the glorious gopis. एताः परं तनुभृतो भुवि गोपवधवो गोविन्द एव निखिल आत्मनि रूढभावाः वाछन्ति यत् भवियो मुनयो वयं च किम ब्रह्म जन्मभिरनन्त कथारसस्य. Udhav saying, among all persons on earth, these cowherd women alone have actually perfected their embodied lives, for they have achieved the perfection of unalloyed love for Lord Govind. Their pure love is hankered after by those who fear material existence, by great sages, and by ourselves as well. For one who has tasted the narrations of the infinite Lord, what is the use of taking birth as a high-class Brahmin or even as Lord Brahma himself? Yeah? So what Udhavji is saying that among all the persons on earth, gopis have perfected their lives because they have achieved the perfection of unalloyed love for Govind. Yeah? They are saying, Etaha param tanu abhrito bhuvi gopavadvo Govind ev. Nikhil Atmani Rudh Bhava hai. They have perfected their love for Lord Govind. And what is he saying that Vachanti Yat Bhav Bhiyo and Munyo? Like this is something which is not achieved by the people, even including Rishi Munis. The Muni at the highest level also cannot achieve this. And what Udhavji is even saying that what is the point? Kim? What is the point of taking Brahmajan? Yeah, or even as Lord Brahma is saying that for one who has tasted the narrations of the infinite Lord, like Katha Rahasya, if you have heard the Katha Rasasya, Katha Ras आपने सुन लिया है, तो फिर what is the use of taking birth even as a high class Brahman or even as the Lord Brahma himself, is what is being mentioned by Udhavji. So he's saying the love of gopis is the highest perfection. So even Munis and even high class Brahmans, they cannot achieve this, is what has been achieved by the gopis. Says Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that here the term Brahma Janmabhi, Brahminical births, refers to the threshold birth by seminal parenthood, sacred thread initiation, and sacrificial initiation. These cannot compare to pure Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So what is being mentioned, you know this, right? So sometimes some Brahmins are called Dvij born, right? Dvijan, because they think that twice born. You might have heard the term twice born Brahmins. Twice born is nothing but first birth is the parenthood, right? The natural birth. Second birth is generally the sacred thread initiation. So if you know the Janevu ceremony hoti hai, that is also called second birth. So those Brahmins are called Dvijan, like twice born Brahmins. And now they are saying even there is a third one, sacrificial initiation. But all those things are not comparable to pure bhakti, pure surrender to Krishna consciousness, is what is mentioned. Anilji?
क्वेमा स्त्रियो वनचरी बेभिचार दुष्टाः कृष्णे का चैष परमात्मनि रूढभावः नन्वीश्वरो अनु भजतो विदुषो अपि साक्षात् श्रेयस्तनो त्यगदराज इवोपयुक्तः. How amazing it is that these simple women who wander about the forest, seemingly spoiled by improper behavior, have achieved the perfection of unalloyed love for Krishna, the Supreme Soul. Still, it is true that the Supreme Lord Himself awards His blessings even to an ignorant worshipper, just as the best medicine works even when taken by a person ignorant of its ingredients. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Two things mentioned is, one is they have achieved the perfection of unalloyed love for Krishna, the Supreme Soul. So Udhavji is saying, and they are saying like it doesn't really matter who are the gopis. He says, right? It doesn't even matter that, because anyone, even if he's ignorant, but he's worshipping Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna's blessings are there for even the ignorant worshipper. Is what Udhavji is saying. Just as the medicine works, whether you know the ingredients or not, right? And so saying the gopis have achieved the perfection of unalloyed love for Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Soul. Ramanuji?
Nayam Shriyo Gyanu Nittanta Retah Prasadaha Swar Yoshitam Nalina Gandha Rucham Kuto Neya Rasotva Swa Bhuja Danda Grita Kandha Ladbhastam Sitam Ya Uddagad Vraja Vallabhanam. When the Lord Krishna was dancing with the gopis in the Rasa Leela, the gopis were embraced by the arms of the Lord. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon the goddess of fortune or other consorts in the spiritual world. Indeed, never was such a thing even imagined by the most beautiful girls in the heavenly planets, whose body luster with an aroma resemble the lotus flower. And what to speak of worldly women who are very beautiful according to materialism estimation.
Hare Krishna. So what Udhavji is saying is, like the gopis were embraced by the arms of the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is not disturbed among the consorts in the spiritual world as well. right? So the gopis were so fortunate and they were so dedicated in the Supreme Personality's surrender, surrendering to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna, Gajan. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
The word meanings and translation for this verse are taken from Srila Prabhupada's English rendering of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 8.80. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti comments as follows: Lord Krishna, the best of all avatars, exists on the highest platform of purity and morality, and thus he always remained praiseworthy by all. Even while accepting worldly criticism for his cow tending, wandering in the forest, taking meals with young monkeys, stealing yogurt, seducing other men's wives, and so on. Similarly, the gopis, who are constituted of the Lord's pleasure potency, achieved the highest standard of purity and auspiciousness, even in comparison to the goddess of fortune, and thus the gopis are extremely glorious, even though they were criticized by worldly people because they were mere cowherd women living in the forest and behaving in an apparently improper way. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what is mentioned is the gopis actually achieved the highest standard of purity and auspiciousness. Yeah, and also it was mentioned earlier that the gopis were none other than the rishis and munis in the previous birth, and even devatas. Right? Asamaho charan renu jushamaham sham vrindavane kimapi gulmalatoshadhinam yadushyatajam swajanmarya patham chahitva bhejar mukunda padavim sutirбhirvimrigyam. The gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husbands, sons, and other family members who are very difficult to give up, and they have forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter of the lotus feet of Mukund, Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to be one of the bushes, creepers, or herbs in Vrindavan, because the gopis trample them and place them with the dust of their lotus feet. Yeah. So what Udhavji is saying is that, and Udhavji is the highest level of jnani, right? Highest level of self-realization and the jnana. And this is what Udhavji is saying, that I will be fortunate enough if I can be born in Vrindavan. Even if I am a tree in Vrindavan. Why? Because the gopis who have the highest ecstasy, love for Supreme Personality of Godhead, right, who are pretty much one with Lord Shri Krishna, yeah, they bless those trees with the dust of their lotus feet, is what Udhavji is saying. Yeah. Charan Renu. Renu is the sand, Charan. Because the gopis are blessing those trees by their charan, so I want to be born, and I'll be fortunate enough to be born in Vrindavan, is what Udhavji is saying. Huh? Ramanuji?
The word meaning and translation for this verse are taken from Sri Srila Prabhupada English rendering of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Antya 7.47. The Uddhava here shows the perfect Vaishnava attitude of humility. He does not pray to be equal to the gopis in their exalted stage of love, but rather to take birth as a bush or creeper in Vrindavan, so that when they walk upon him, he will get the dust of their feet and thus be blessed. The shy gopis were never agree to give such blessings to a great personality like Uddhava. Therefore, he cleverly sought to get such mercy by taking birth as a plant in Vrindavana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Huh? See, what is mentioned is he doesn't pray to be equal to the gopis. Udhavji, even though he is the highest jnani, he is not saying that he also wants to get that love which gopis has. He is just saying that he just wants the dust of their lotus feet. Yeah. Anilji?
या वै श्रियार्चित मजदीप दिभि राप्त कामैर् योगेश्वरैरपि यदात्मनि रासगोष्ठयां कृष्णस्य तद् भगवतः चरणारविन्दं न्यस्तं स्तनेषु विजहुः परिरभ्य तापम्. The goddess of fortune herself, along with Lord Brahma and all the other demigods who are masters of yogic perfection, can worship the lotus feet of Krishna only within her mind. But during the Ras dance, Lord Krishna placed his feet upon these gopis' breasts, and by embracing those feet, the gopis gave up all distress. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
Vande Nandavraja Shritranam Shritrana Padarenum Abhikshana Yasam Hari Kadojitam Punati Bhuvana Trayanam. I repeatedly offer my respects to the dust from the feet of the women of Nanda Maharaj's cowherd village. When these gopis loudly chant the glories of Sri Krishna, the vibration purifies the three worlds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this? Who is saying this? I
Uddhav Maharaj
repeatedly
is saying
offer.
that.
Udhavji, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Udhavji is saying, I repeatedly offer my respects, yeah, to the dust from the feet of the women of Nanda Maharaj's cowherd village. Yeah. Padarenum Bhikshanashah. And what he's also saying is Yasham Hari Katha. Yeah. When the gopis do the Hari Katha, when they loudly chant the glories of Sri Krishna, what happens? Punati Bhuvan Trayam. Trayam. Yeah, three bhuvans. The vibration of Lord Sri Krishna's chanting purifies the three worlds. Yeah, three bhuvan gets purified is what Udhavji is saying. Sri Uddhav, having established the glories of the gopis in the previous verses, now directly offers his obeisances to them. According to the Sri Vaishnava Swami, Sri Uddhav did not offer such respect even to Lord Krishna's queens in Dwarka. Yeah, but he's offering that respect to all the gopis. Yeah. Shri Shukvachan अथ गोपीरनुज्ञाप्य यशोदामनन्दमेव च गोपानामन्त्रदाशाहो यास्यन्नारुरहे रथम्. Sukdev Goswami said, Uddhav, the descendant of the Sara, then took permission to leave from the gopis and from Mother Yashoda and Nand Maharaj. He bade farewell to all the cowherd men and about to depart, mounted his chariot. Yeah. So after spending so much time in Vrindavan, Uddhavji is now heading back to Mathura. Yeah. Anilji?
तं निर्गतं समासाद्य नानोपायन पाणयः नन्दादयो अनुरागेण प्रावोचन्नश्रुलोचनाः. As Uddhav was about to leave, Nand and the others approached him bearing various items of worship. With tears in their eyes, they addressed him as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ashru Lochana hai. With tears in their eyes, they address Udhavji. Srila Jiva Goswami points out that Nanda and the cowherd man did not approach Uddhav as a formality, but rather out of spontaneous affection for a dear friend of Krishna's. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Shiva Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
कैसे हैं पढ़ेंगे? Can you read? Yeah, Ramanuj.
Yeah. Manaso vratayo nasu syuha Krishna padam bhujasraya vacho vidya inir nam kayastat pruha vanushadu. Nand, can you go down a little bit? Nand and other cohorts said, "May our mental functions always take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. May our words always chant his names, and may our bodies always bow down to him and serve him." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so all the gopis and gopis are saying that may our mental functions, manaso vrittiyo, yeah, manso vrittiyo nashu, Krishna pad ambuja ashraya hai. Yeah, the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, we can take shelter, yeah, and always from manso vrittiyo. And is what the Nand Maharaj and all the gopis are asking for. Yeah. Says here, the residents of Vrindavan were firmly convinced that even if they could not have direct association with their beloved Krishna, they would never be indifferent to him. They were all topmost pure devotees of the Lord.
Yeah. Sorry, Prabhuji. I think the connection got lost.
Oh, okay, no worries. Hare Krishna, padhoge abhi?
Yes. Karma bhirbham yamananam yatra kapi shrechya mandagala charite radane ratarnah Krishna Ishware. Translation: whenever we are made to wander about this world by the Supreme Lord's will, in accordance with the reactions to our fruitive work, may our good works and charity always grant us love for Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is being mentioned is wherever we are made to wander about this world. Right? So we don't know, like when we are born, what body we are going to get, which planet we are going to be on, right? Who knows? But what is being mentioned is wherever we are made to wander around this world, by the Supreme Lord's will, yeah, in accordance with the reactions to our fruitive work. Reactions to why are we born in different bodies and different places and different locations? Because of karma. Yeah. Karma bhir bhamya mananam yatra kapi ishwarechya. Yeah. Based on Lord Krishna's will, based on our karmas, wherever we made to wander around this world, we are asking for one thing, and that is, may our good works, good karmas, and charity always grant us love for Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. Mangal acharitra dane, good karmas, charit dane, dan, pratirna hai. What we want? Krishna Ishware hai. We always want to be Kirtana hai, Krishna Ishware hai. Charity alone grant us love for Lord Shri Krishna. Tarun?
एवं समाजितो गोपेयं कृष्ण भक्त्या नराधिप उद्भव पुनरागच्छन्दमधुरां कृष्णपालिताम्. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O ruler of men, thus honored by the cowherd men with expressions of devotion from Lord Krishna, Uddhava went back to the city of Mathura, which was under Krishna's protection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what is mentioned is the word Krishna Palitam indicates that even though Uddhav became quite attached to the land of Vrindavan, he returned to Mathura because Sri Krishna was personally displaying his transcendental pastimes there. Yeah. कृष्णाय प्रणिपत्याह भक्त्युद्रेकं व्रजोक्तसाम वसुदेवाय रामाय रागे चोपायनान्यदात्. After falling down to pay his homage, Uddhav described to Lord Shri Krishna the immense devotion of the residents of Vraj. Uddhav also described it to Vasudev, Lord Balram, and King Ugrasen, and presented to them the gifts of tribute he had brought with him. Yeah. So this is how Udhavji then returns back to Mathura. Yeah. Thus ends the purpose of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 47th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Song of the Bee. Yeah. Follow Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
and the Song of the Bee is in Hindi, what do we call it? Brahmar Geet. Yeah. And we read the Brahmar Geet and Brahmar because there is a Bhamra which comes near Radharani, and then Radharani sings to the Bhamra, indicating that she is actually singing for Lord Shri Krishna, right? And then she sings it has 10 different shloks and 10 different rasas and ragas, which Radharani depicts, right? That's the Brahmar Geet. And then we heard how Udhavji praised gopis, and then he goes back to Mathura. So we'll start with chapter 48, which is Krishna pleases his devotees. Yeah. So there are specific devotees that talk about in this, and how Krishna satisfies their will and desires and give them the total devotional love. So we'll start with the shlok 1, Anilji.
Shri Shukavacha अथ विज्ञाय भगवान् सर्वात्मा सर्वदर्शनः शरन्द्रयाः कामताप्तयाः प्रियमिच्छन् ग्रहं ययो. Sukadeva Goswami said, next after assimilating Uddhav's report, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the omniscient soul of all that be, desired to satisfy the serving girl Trivakra, who was troubled by lust. Thus he went to her house. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramanuji.
Maharho Paksharay Adhyam Kamopaya Brahitam Mukta Dama Pata Kabir Vitana Saya Nasaneya Dhupe Surabhibhir Driptiya Rag Gandhair Api Manditam. Trivikra home was opulently appointed with expensive furnishings and replete with sensual accoutrements meant to inspire sexual desire. There were banners, rows of strung pearls, canopies, fine beds, and sitting places, and also fragrant incense, oil lamps, flower garlands, and aromatic sandalwood paste. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
Graham tam ayantam aveksha sasanat sadaya samutaya hi jata sambrama yato sangamya sakhebhir achyutam sabhajayam asa sad asanadhi. 10th Trivarka saw him arriving at her house. She at once rose from her seat in a flurry. Coming forward graciously with her girlfriends, she respectfully greeted Lord Achyuta by offering him an excellent seat and other articles of worship. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What we are reading is a story of Trivakra. Shiva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. तथोध्वः साधु तयाभि पूजितो न्यषिद्धदुर्व्यां भीमनिष्य चासनं कृष्णो अपि तूर्ण शयनं महाधनं विवेश लोकाचरितान्यनुव्रतः. Translation: Uddhava also received a seat of honor since he was a saintly person, but he simply touched it and sat on the floor. Then Lord Krishna, imitating the manners of human society, quickly made himself comfortable on an opulent bed. Hare Krishna.
Tamajjalale Padukula Bhushan Istragandha Tambura Sudhasavadibhi Prasaditaatmopasasara Madhavam Savrita Lilotsmitim Brahmekshite. Trivakra prepared herself by bathing, anointing her body, and dressing with fine garments by putting on jewelry, garlands, and perfume, and also by chewing betel nut, drinking fragrant liquor, and so on. She then approached Lord Madhav with shy, playful smiles and coquettish glances. Anilji?
Ahir kantam nav sangamahir marya vishankitam kankara bhushite kare pragrahaya shashyaman diveshya ramaya reme anule parpa punya leshaya. Calling forward his beloved, who was anxious and shy at the prospect of this new contact, the Lord pulled her by her bangled hands onto the bed. Thus he enjoyed with that beautiful girl, whose only trace of piety was her having offered ointment to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramanji?
Sananga tapta kuchayor urasas तथा snor जिगृहन्ते अनंता चरणेन रुजा व्रजन्ति दोर्भ्यं स्तन्तरागतं परिर्भ्याकन्तम् आनन्दमूर्तिम् अजहात् इति दृगतपम्. Simply by smelling the fragrance of Krishna lotus nose, Trivakra cleaned away the burning lust Cupid had aroused in her breast, chest, and eyes. With her two arms, she embraced between her breast her lover, Sri Krishna, the personification of bliss, and thus she gave up her long-standing distress. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pardon?
सेवं कैवल्यं नाथं तं प्राप्य दुष्टप्राप्यमीश्वरम् अंगरगणपनेनाहो दुर्भाग्येदम् अच्युत. Having thus gotten the heart to get Supreme Lord by the simple act of offering him body ointment, unfortunate Vakra submitted to that Lord of Freedom the following request. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Savoshyatamih preshta dīnāni kati chinmaya ramashvanotsahe kyaktum sangam te ambura. Trivakra said, "Oh beloved, please stay here with me for a few days more and enjoy. I cannot bear to give up your association." All lotus-eyed one. Shiva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Tasya varam dattva manyatva cha mandaha sahodhadvain sarvashah swadhama gamad ritadhamata. Translation: promising her the fulfillment of this lusty desire, considerate Krishna, Lord of all beings, paid Trivarka his respects and then returned with Uddhava to his own supremely opulent residence. Hare Krishna.
Anilji?
दुराराध्यं समाराध्य विष्णुं सर्वेश्वरेश्वरं यो वृणीते मनोग्राह्य सत्त्वात् कुमनीशसो. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord of all lords, is ordinarily difficult to approach. One who has properly worshipped him and then chooses the benediction of mundane sense gratification is certainly of poor intelligence, for he is satisfied with an insignificant result. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is mentioned is Lord Vishnu, who is the Sarveshwar, right? Supreme Lord of all lords. First of all is Duraradhyam, right? Not easy to get, right? But one who has properly worshipped him, but then choosing the benediction of mundane sense gratification is definitely having poor intelligence. Yeah, because that doesn't give any significant result. What is mentioned. Ramanand?
Ankura Bhuvanam Krishna Saha Ramodhvavam Prabhu Kinchit Chikirsayam Pragad Akura Priya Kamyaha. Then Lord Krishna, wanting to have some things done, went to Akrura's house with Balram and Uddhava. The Lord also desired to please Ankura. Hare Krishna.
Akrur, yeah, the Lord goes to Akrur's house. Tarun?
Sa tan naravaras shreshtan aradvikyasa swabandhanam bandhavan pratyutyaya pramudita parishvajya binandya cha nanama krishnam ramam cha satar api abhivadhityatah pujyayam asa vidhivat Kratasana Parigrahan. Akrura stood up in great joy when he saw them, his own relatives, and the greatest of exalted personalities coming from a distance. After embracing them and greeting them, Akrura bowed down to Krishna and Balram and was greeted by them in return. Then, when his guests had taken their seats, he worshipped them in accordance with spiritual rules. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Akrur, if you remember, yeah, who got Lord Krishna and Lord Balram to Mathura? Yeah, Akrur was the one, right? Kans had sent Akrur to bring Lord Krishna and Balram to Mathura. And then also we remember his whole story, right? When he was coming back, and then how Lord Sri Krishna gave darshan to him, and then how he did the glorification and so on, right? And now Lord Krishna is going to Akrur's house. Shiva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just Padavane Janirapo Dharyan Sirsa Nrap Arhane Nambarer Divya Gardhan Sa Gabhushanotmay Architva Sir Sanmay Pada Vadagato Mrajan Prashyavanto Akruraha Krishna Rama Vabhashata. Translation. O King Akrura, O King Akrura bathed the feet of Lord Krishna and Lord Balram and then poured the bath water on his head. He presented them with gifts of fine clothing, aromatic sandalwood paste, flower garlands, and excellent jewelry. After thus worshipping the two lords, he bowed his head to the floor. He then began to massage Lord Krishna's feet, placing them on his lap, and with his head bowed in humility, he addressed Krishna and Balram as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Uddistya papo hata kansah sanugo amidam kulam bhavadya amudadhritam krichada durantachya samheditam. Akrur said, "It's our good fortune that you two lords have killed the evil Kans and his followers, thus delivering your dynasty from endless suffering and causing it to flourish." Yeah? So Akrur is praising Lord Shri Krishna and Lord Balaram for taking out Kans and his followers. Yeah? Anilji?
Ivam Pradhan Purusho Jagadhetu Jaganmayo Bhavadvyam na bina kinchit parmasti na chaparam. You both are the original Supreme Person, the cause of the universe and its very substance, not the slightest subtle cause or manifest product of creation exists apart from you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Of course, he's saying you are the Pradhana Purusho Jagadvet Jaganmayo. Yeah? And nothing exists without you. Ramanuji?
Atma Stam idam vishvam anvavishya sva saktibah ityata bahudhya bahudha braham sruta pratyaksha gocharam. O Supreme Absolute Truth, and with your personal energies, you create this universe and then enter into it. Thus, one can pursue you in many different forms by hearing from authorities and by direct experience. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, basically saying he's the supreme absolute truth. Yeah. Nice purport. Let's do this. Tarun?
The grammatical agreement of Shruta Pratyaksha Gocharam in the neuter case with Atma Shastam Idam Vishwam indicates that the Supreme Lord, by entering his creation with his potencies, makes himself perceivable within the universe. Throughout the Bhagavatam and other authorized Vedic literature, we often find descriptions of the Lord's simultaneous supremacy over all other things and his identity with them. We cannot reasonably draw any other conclusion from Vedic literature than the one powerfully preached by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. That is, the absolute truth is greater than and distinct from everything, since he is the omnipotent creator and controller of all, while simultaneously one with everything, since all that exists is the expansion of his own power. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. Basically, what is mentioned is the whole world. Universe also comes from Lord Shri Krishna. Shiva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Throughout these chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, we also observe one of the unique, extraordinary features of this great work. Whether Krishna is sending his message to the gopis or accepting the prayers of Akrura, there is constant philosophical discussion. Throughout the Bhagavatam, the steady combination of fascinating pastimes with spiritual emotions of the Lord and his liberated associates, and yet we are constantly reminded of their ontological position, lest we lapse into a cheap anthropomorphic vision. Thus, it is entirely in character with the work that Akrura, in his ecstasy, glorifies the Lord with precise philosophical prayers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
यथा हि भूतेषु चराचरेषु महादयो योनिषु भान्ति नाना एवं भवान् केवलात्मयोनि स्वात्मा आत्मतंत्रो बहुधा विभाति. Just as the primary elements, earth and so on, manifest themselves in abundant variety among all the species of mobile and immobile life, so you, the one independent supreme soul, appear to be manifold among the variegated objects of your creation. So across everything which is, says here, bhuteshu char achar, moving or not moving. Yeah, bhuteshu, all the pranis, and char achar, only one thing which is there, evam bhavan keval atma yoni, and mention that the one independent supreme soul appear to be manifold among the variegated objects of your creation. So many different types of creation of objects. One thing which is there is the independent supreme soul appear to be the manifold. Yeah, in all the living and unliving entities. So I think we'll just pause here. Yeah, and we'll continue to read about Akru's prayers and then see what Lord Shri Krishna is asking of Akru. Yeah, so I'll pause here.
Gajendra Prabhu, I just forgot, we initially we studied about someone called Trivartaka, right?
Trivartika, yeah.
Who was he or she? I forgot. I'm blanking
Yeah,
out.
so she was in Mathura, and her earlier past was that she had a, what do you call it, the kubza, like she
Oh yes,
wasn't,
yes, yes,
she
yes.
wasn't beautiful at all, and in Lord Krishna's blessing, she recovered and purified, and then she had this, and then she she glorified Lord Shri Krishna by putting chandan and everything. And then she had a wish. So that's what Lord Shri Krishna granted her. Right?
Okay.
That's what, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So we'll hear to a very beautiful bhajan. I think we have heard it before, but we'll hear it again. Kripalu Maharaj bhajan, Shri Radhe Barsane. Yeah? 6 minutes.
लाल की श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी प्यारी पर प्रियतम बलिहारी पिय पर प्यारी वारी वारी प्यारी पर प्रियतम बलिहारी पिय पर प्यारी वारी वारी प्यारी बनी गई कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी बनी गए प्यारी प्यारी बनी गई कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी बनी गए प्यारी राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी राधे प्यारी ते प्यारे बनवारी बनवारी ते प्यारी 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 ते प्यारे बनवारी बनवारी ते प्यारी प्यारी मादन रसवारी नथवारी मदन मोहन रास बिहारी मादन रसवारी नथवारी मदन मोहन रास बिहारी ओ श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी राधे यद्यपि है कृपालु बनवारी पर नहले पे दहला प्यारी यद्यपि है कृपालु बनवारी यद्यपि है कृपालु बनवारी पर नहले पे दहला प्यारी यद्यपि है कृपालु बनवारी राधे श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी श्री राधे बरसाने वारी नंद नंदन सुख घन बनवारी
तो श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की
जय.
Right, very beautiful bhajan. Thank you, Paulji Maharaj. See you tomorrow at 9. Yeah.
Okay,
See you tomorrow. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.